Well, hey folks, it's your old pal King Waspinator. Welcome back to Total Party Skills, and I got the new copy of Hunter the Reckoning from Renegade Game Studios, a heavy air quotes 5th edition, albeit there was not that many other editions between the original Hunter the Reckoning and this one to actually, I think, really get away with calling it a 5th edition, but more so that it's in line with the current modern edition of Vampire the Masquerade. And, I've talked a little smack about Vampire the Masquerade. In fact, as I think I've demonstrated over time on my channel, I'm quite willing to not pull punches when I don't like something, which means when I say something's good, hopefully you might take that with, like a little seriousness, that I'm not just, bullshitting you because I'm hoping to get in good with the people who make these books and all that kind of stuff. So I'm going to say that this version of Hunter the Reckoning kind of nails it. It cleaves much more closer to the Hunters Hunted as opposed to the actual original Hunter the Reckoning game. It completely drops the imbued out of it, and it's just about playing individual, unique, vampire and werewolf and ghost hunters and stuff like that. And that's exactly what it needed to be. And I am like 99.9% satisfied with this, which for a release from Renegade Game Studios, like I was not expecting to like come away from this being like, awesome. It actually might give me a reason to one day actually put my 5th edition Vampire the Masquerade to use so that I can have people playing hunters hunt them down to destroy their vampiric leech asses. Now, I say 99.9% approve of this because, of course, it being Renegade Game Studios and it being the year that it is, at the very tail end, there's a nice little appendix about, how to take modern considerations into how you do your role-playing game, which, of course, it means, like, leading off with a whole page and a half about how if you're a neo-Nazi, you don't need to be playing World of Darkness games. Once again, This isn't a fucking Marvel comic universe. I'm getting, really, it's been, 7 years now of having to put up with this shit. Yes, once upon a time, there was World War II Germany and Hitler and those Nazis, and they were bad, and they were beaten, and a lot of them were hung or shot or put in jail for long periods of time and put through a ton of psychological retraining, yada, yada, yada. And legend, of course, says that a few managed to escape to Argentina and all that kind of stuff, and obviously you have the wannabe thing that is the neo-Nazi here in the United States, which for a long, long, long time was either some really desperate, sad political kooks mixed with what had basically just became an ethnic prison gang. That's how they kind of survived for quite a few decades, as they were just an alternative for people who were stuck in penitentiaries who didn't want to join the Latin Kings or the Crips. Well, you can join those guys instead, and they'll watch your back when you're out there pumping iron in the fucking rec room or wherever the fuck it is that's going on. But, like ever since American History X has come out, there's just and enhanced by Captain America, the Winter Soldier's portrayal of Hydra, there's just been this emergent idea that there's just neo-Nazis behind every corner and they're pulling all these strings and they're oh so dangerous, and we gotta stop fascists. We can't have fascists playing Hunter the Reckoning, our game about vigilante justice. We don't want Punisher fans playing this. Put this book down right now, you dirty, dirty fascist. The neo-Nazis are sad, and what they actually need is our sympathy, because these are people who really desperately need friends, and all this shit about, someone starts just throwing out some alt-right talking points in your role-playing game, then you should just shut that shit down now, which, the tone behind that is like this cocky, bloated, I'm gonna kick your ass kind of attitude. That's like, I highly doubt, knowing what the average gamer nerd looks like, especially gamer nerds who write role-playing games, I could pretty much bet that whoever wrote that line ain't stopping shit if it's going on in front of them. they don't even like what the fuck even is fascist anymore? Like that word is thrown around like so lightly and casually and encompasses so many things that we're basically just saying all of civilization is fascist. Humans are just inherently, naturally, genetically fascist. And when things are that fascist, nothing is fascist. And we should just everything derived from Rome can be described from fascist. And since Rome itself didn't emerge from a vacuum, ah, I'm tired of the label. Since the whole, since the Trump election, my whole read on this whole thing is that, I'm not really concerned about the neo-Nazis who are out there right now. I do worry about the neo-Nazis that we're making who are going to come of age in about another 10 years or so from now. We've filtered a whole generation of kids through this prism of telling them about how they have this innate superior white privilege about them, and they also have to feel bad about it. And all they get to see who represents their look and ethnicity in movies and film now are villains. I wonder what those people are going to grow up to be. I wonder if a certain chunk of them are going to turn 18 and just snap because they've been painted a vision of a future that really has nothing for them going on. And so why not just spring a leak and do the things that make CNN secretly wet when they think about all those delicious ratings they're going to get with their helicopter drone images and all their political grandstanding. And, maybe they could get a couple Congress people to get into a fight right there on the evening news. Won't it be wonderful? It's all a bunch of horse shit and stuff like that. Isn't going to age well. And this whole culture of we gotta beat down these god darn secret Hydra neo-Nazis, all that's going to do is legitimize that shit. And like I said, it might not be right now, but 10 years from now, these kids aren't going to be the guilt-ridden little wilting flowers that you think you're creating out there. It's just unnecessarily antagonistic. It's an unnecessary display from a company that's already bent over backwards. And also just these sorts of messagings from companies, take the anti-fascist stance of a role-playing game company that hawks their wares on Amazon because Amazon is like a bad, just the fact that when you have all these major corporations who are promoting and backing, your anti-establishment causes, guess what? That's a sign that you're not anti-establishment. You have no right to be calling your company renegade anything. And it's kind of sad that all of that has colored this here little initial review of what is otherwise a goddamn solid improvement on the original version of this game, and that I would otherwise highly recommend to anyone. Just don't read the appendix, I guess. I don't fucking know. I'm pretty much just kind of just sick of the whole thing. I'm sick of all these idiots on quote-unquote my side fucking whinging at every fucking shadow out there to a point where, like, you're just having to, like, apologize for trying to write the product that you're trying to write. I'm sorry, please don't think my game about vigilantes hunting supernatural evil in the night is somehow pro-fascist. We wouldn't want fascists to play our game. It's just so fucking retarded. And on the other side, like, just all this chest-thumping Bronze Age bullshit, like we're gonna go back to the fucking Puritan days or some kind of shit overnight. Albeit, recent events certainly seems to be trying their damnedest to get us back into that position. What an impossible position that those of us who are kind of in between these two wings have to put up with. What a terrible, terrible devil's choice that's a Sophie's choice, whatever you call it, that's placed in front of us. Like, continue to award these assholes who just waste our time and don't do any of the stuff that we elect them to do, or allow these Bronze Age maniacs to keep dragging us back into the fucking Stone Age. And everything's just cancel culture this, and you're not good enough that, and how dare you speak against this person I've never heard of before until I heard a video about them from Geeks and Gamers. And just stop all of it. You stop, both of you. Like, shut the fuck up. I'm getting sick of it. But yeah, Hunter the Reckoning itself, this version of Hunter the Reckoning, aside from that appendix, seems to be a pretty solid retelling of the Hunter the Reckoning concept, because I never liked the bit with the imbued. It just kind of turned them almost into anti-mages. It's not really humans fighting back if they're being given special powers too. This is actual, just regular people doing the hard work of tracking down vampires and werewolves and other things that go bump in the night, so they can bump them back a little bit. So anyway, there you go, Hunter the Reckoning. Video recommendation. Stay woke, go fascist, fuck yourselves, and stay waspinated.